Good morning. Welcome to Planet Mojo. This is why we can't have nice things in Wisconsin. I parked this here 2 days ago after I planted the trees up here, the bare root trees. And this is what it looks like now. We were supposed to get a blizzard, but that never materialized. It was just a gentle snow most of the day. And interestingly enough, my wife had to go and do stuff with my daughter's prom in town. And for a while, it wasn't even snowing down below. We're at 1,200 feet right here. And in the end, they got barely anything down there. But this has been melting, almost as soon as it hit the ground, it was melting. So it'll likely be gone today. And we got a bit of sunshine today. And then I believe it's 4 days of rain, 1 day of sunshine, and then 3 or 4 days of rain after that. That's what the forecast is now. But they've been so very bad at it lately. Who knows what the hell we're going to have. But I do need to take advantage of today and hack and squirt. What I'm going to do is hack and squirt all of these trees right in here, as well as any of them that haven't been hacked and squirted in here, and right along the road back here. What that'll do for me is make sure the trees that are going to go die and don't produce, a massive amount of leaves, especially here where it's going to shade the greenhouse. And then I can get to them and drop the trees whenever I can get to them. I don't have to do it right away. If I let this whole place green up, it's just going to be really hard to work. So I got to get over to the shed and mix up my squirt formula, which is tricoupler, diesel fuel, an indicator dye, and methylated seed oil, which is a surfactant. I got to mix up a batch of that. Then I'm going to get out and hack and squirt until I use all that up. I got a batch mixed up. I got enough for this bottle and just a hair. I'm going to guess, 6-8 ounces after that, and I'm going to use it all up. And that will be the rest of my tricoupler for this year. I don't know if I'll get another gallon. It's like $80 a gallon, but the brand name Garland is, I believe it's $160, $170 a gallon. So it's about half price for the exact same thing. Tricoupler 4, the trade name was Garland, but I believe their patent ran out or something. Anyways, my recipe is 50-50 diesel and tricoupler, and then a tablespoon of methylated seed oil, which if you smell that stuff, I'm not sure what kind of seed it's made out of, but it smells like old beer, day-old beer, or an old bar. Base oil red, which is an oil-based dye, which is added to it just so you can see where you've squirted. Not really that important on, like today I'm gonna make a hack and then I'm gonna squirt into it. So, and then if I go back and see the tree tomorrow, I'll know that I did that. So that's that. I used up what was left from last year back in this area along the road. The cat's in there messing around. Now I'm going to go and get the trees right in that area on the side of the greenhouse and then back into there a bit, just the larger trees, and a bit over here. And then if I might go back that way if I need to. Also, this morning I really need to get this on. I had my wife pick this up in town yesterday. I forgot all about it. The 12 bare root bur oaks that I planted, 2 days ago. Or no, yeah, 2 days ago. They're just sticks with little buds on them. If deer see that, they will bite the top off. They'll be curious because deer are very curious. They'll go up there and say, oh, fresh bud, and bite the top off. After the tree's been there for a while, they don't really care. You know, there's a zillion buds to bite around here, so they're not really attracted to it. But when something is new, they're very curious. They go to investigate, and while they're there, they'll just have a little bite. So until the deer just ignore them, they're going to have deer stopper on them. And hopefully it works. The horses do the same damn thing. They'll go and bite all the new buds off of the trees in the pasture. But I digress. I got to get going. So, yeah, if you're wondering about the red, that's from... This stuff is so potent that just a bazillimeter on you will, spread and it'll look like you're a bloody mess. Got it all over my diesel container as well. That's from earlier. But it wears off pretty quick. All right, let's get going. These two trees are oaks, and I believe they're the same species. They're both reds, but I'm not sure if one of them's a red and one of them's a black, which are both reds, or if they're both blacks. I kind of think they're both blacks, but it doesn't matter. Because they are basically the same species of tree, even if they were both just some generic oak, I believe the roots can graft to each other. The roots will grow close to each other or cross each other and then graft together. So if you kill one tree, there's a possibility that you're going to kill the other one as well. If it's got a decent sized graft, chances are pretty damn good that's what's going to happen. So with this tree, I believe I'm just going to cut that one down, and I'll have to do it pretty soon. Then once I cut it down, if you use any kind of like a stump killer or anything like that on it, the same damn thing's going to happen. It can translocate and kill the other tree. I believe it has to be the same species. If you do it on like birch and aspen, they're a colonial tree, or aspen is. I'm not sure if birch is a colonial tree or not, but I know aspen is, which means they have a common root source or a common root. So if you kill one, you can kill like a half a dozen around it. You're not going to kill all of them, but you're going to kill quite a few. So in this case, I'm not going to hack and squirt. This one's staying, that one's going. I'm not going to touch either one. That I'll cut down, and then it's going to send out shoots right away. I'll have to come back and just keep cutting off the shoots until it runs out of energy. That's pretty much the only way to do it, that you're assured you're not going to kill the other tree. And this is it's a nice sized tree, and it's one of the original trees. If you've seen any of my other videos, that tree there, the one directly behind the house, and these two were the original trees when I was clearing back here when we first bought the land. All of these were yay big. They were just seedlings. So I started clearing around them, and I put a little fence around them for a while, and sprayed them with deer repellent and this, that, and the other thing. And that was, I believe it was 14 years ago, 14 or 15, and this is how big they are. from just, 2 leaves. So that's that. If you got 2 of the same tree near each other, if you hack and squirt one, you're probably going to kill the other as well. But these trees, no such problem. So I want to get these right through here. Some of these were sprayed with basil bark, so I really don't like this one. I don't need to do anything on this one or that one. The one 6 inches and under, I did spray basil bark on this, but I think it's a little bit over the 6 inches, so I'm going to do a hack and squirt on it as well. And then these couple trees here, and I want to try to concentrate on the ones right around Bigfoot, which is that giant white oak right there, part of the Oak Savanna that I'm restoring here. And that ash back there, I believe that's dead. But this is mulberry here. We decided to keep this, at least for now, so I'm going to leave that one alone too. It's a pretty interesting tree. It really needs to be pruned up a bit if it's going to stay for very long. But the majority of these need to go as well. There's going to be a road coming in from the other road going to my new wood shop here, and we want that road to come down and go past here and connect with the Billy Road, and then eventually hopefully continue over that little rise and go to the round pen back there. So my daughter will be able to take her horses right out of the round pen and come up this trail, go through here, and then have access to this big loop on the new pasture here and connect back down to the ravine down there, along the ravine all the way and back to the round pen back there. That'll add a ton of trail that she can ride on. So what I'm doing is making a 45 or steeper degree hack to expose as much of the xylem and cambium as possible, and then squirting into that hack with the formula. The recipe is 1 hack per 3 inches at diameter breast high. Diameter breast high is wherever your chest is, you measure the tree, and that diameter is what they consider the diameter of your tree. So if you got a 12-inch diameter tree, it would be 4 hacks. I'm doing, well, I did a little more than that on this one. Sometimes I do a little less. But I need these to die down really quick before they start shading out the greenhouse. So I'm giving it a little more than what it calls for. On some of these, they may have been hacked last year. That one looks like it has a couple hacks in it, but yes, it does have hacks, and it doesn't have any buds. So this one's already dead. This one is still alive but it was hacked last year, and it's got a bunch of sap coming out of the old wounds. It is not quite dead though. Looks like, no, maybe it is. Let's see if I Give it a couple just to be sure. Yeah, this was done last year, and there's no buds on it. So last year's hack and squirt worked. I may have gotten all of this. This one was done last year. You can see the hacks, but it has a bit of buds up there, so it didn't quite do the job. You can see, got a couple drops on the ground, and that is absolutely no problem. The trichopler bonds with the soil and does not translocate, so it's not going to move through the soil and go kill a tree somewhere else or get in the groundwater. Not much chance of it getting in groundwater around here anyways. Groundwater is 600-700 feet down through rock. It would break down long before that. Okay, most of this stuff was sprayed with basal bark here. So what I'm doing is moving along the fence line. There's an old barbed wire fence in here that separates this field. I believe he used to run the cattle in here and use this as a hay field. So it's got this barbed wire fence that goes the length of it. We're going to take this out and we're going to put our fence up there further on the other side of those trees, and then we're just going to have a road here, and then this will be all open through here. I don't know if you can see much of this the way the camera is oriented, but I get back to the hacking and or squirting. I need to get out here with the brush whacker and get rid of this gooseberry as well. There's not a whole lot of them. I spritzed a few of them when I was in here last time. I'd like to get part of this area planted in prairie grass this summer, but it remains to be seen. It's got to be cleared, and the existing plants need to be killed back before you plant it. So this may be a next year thing, but it'll keep going year after year. Okay, so walnut here. I'm keeping that one walnut up ahead, straight through there. It's got a real nice prairie shape, and walnut is Oak Savanna tree. The walnut is not an important Oak Savanna tree, but they are present in Oak Savannas. I have a chart that I got from the Oak Savanna Restoration website that lists out the different trees and their importance in the Oak Savanna. Bur oak is number one, white oak, and then I believe black oak. I would have to look at that again, but it's pretty interesting. But interestingly enough, the walnut is in there, even though it's not very fire resistant. Almost all the trees that are Oak Savanna trees have a good deal of fire resistance. But actually this one, I believe, can stay for now. I can take it out later if need be. It kind of frames an opening here. Or maybe I'll just do... that one's all funny shaped. Okay, I'm going to get back to hacking and squirting. Definitely take out this tangle right here. if I don't get this done real soon, it's going to be so overgrown in here that I won't, or I'll have a very hard time getting in here and doing anything. So I really need to come in here with 2,4-D and kill back these brambles, get these trees hacked and squirted, and then hopefully I'll have a semi-clear fence line so I can get this old fence out of here this summer. I want to get rid of these grapevines too, but they're really hard to hack and squirt because they're so rubbery. Yeah, that walnut right there is, see, I can't point this camera very well. It's really one-sided, so I'll probably take that one out too. It's got all the branches on one side because it had stuff growing right behind it, but it's on the other side of the fence, so I'll get it later. I'll get back at this. Okay, it's been 5.5 hours since I started, and I finally ran out of juice. I went all the way along the edge of the pasture, and I went pretty damn far in. Zigzagged through here, all the way down by my nephew's tree stand, circled around up by the road, and got all the way to the entrance. There's a road right through here that goes down to the ravine. Got all the way to that, zigzagged, went underneath the big trees, got up underneath this big tree, Bigfoot there. I said in a previous video, I said I'd show why that was called Bigfoot, but I don't think I ever did. I did last year. This is why it's called Bigfoot. That is one hell of a buttress. But I got through here and I got the majority of it. I still need to get like a couple right in here, but these got to be cut out. You know, one of the first things when I start sawing later in the year, I'm going to be building the wood shop over here. So when I got a little bit of downtime, I'll come in here and cut trees. What I need to do is have a lot of standing dead wood. That way the ground will get all that extra light. Then I gotta knock down what's growing in here. It's almost all gooseberry and other stuff. There's bloodroot and stuff like that, but I mean that can remain growing in the other parts of the woods and it'll repopulate after I knock down everything else and start planting this with prairie grasses. Everything will reseed with native stuff and with invasive stuff, so sooner or later I'll get all that stuff killed out, though, the invasive stuff. At least that's my hope. So this area right here I need to knock back, and then I'll get this planted with, I'm thinking I'm going to go with little blue stem. I'm going to go with the shorter grasses nearby the buildings. I'm not going to do any big blue stem or anything like that real close to the house or the barn or the wood shop, because that stuff gets so damn big. It's a lot of fuel, and when I go to burn it, I don't want, you know, a giant conflagration right next to the buildings. So I think I'm going to plant little blue stem, Indian grass, side oats, grama. I think that's how it's pronounced. Bottle brush grass, stuff like that. Like in the shade of the tree, the bottle brush grass will do much better. There's like this right here. This right here is a sedge. There's sedges all over. I believe it's a sedge. You could tell they got like triangle-shaped leaves. Yep, that's a sedge. A lot of this is sedges, and I believe that when I spray, I'm spraying 2,4-D in this area. I believe that'll knock back all the broadleaf stuff, and I'm guessing the sedges aren't going to be much affected by it. We'll find out. And there might be too much light here for the sedges. They're a shade. They like shade to deep shade, so they might die back just from the extra light. But at some point, everything's going to naturalize. Things will grow where they want to grow, and hopefully this will start resembling an Oak Savanna again pretty soon. Shouldn't be too long, 10, 50 years. So that'll wrap up this video. If you want to see the progress here, make sure you subscribe, click on the update icon, and the thumbs up would be great as well. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.